Hello, I hope you're well. Some of you have been waiting for this, eagerly anticipated I would imagine. Hopefully you're going to be as excited as I've been for about a week now. This is the HAKU RDA. I'm not going to beat around the bush with this. This is by no means a spoiler, so you don't watch the rest of the video. This thing has got me up at night, pacing the house, scratching my head, rocking in the rocking chair, basically confused, but equally the most excited I've been for quite a while. It's a 22mm RDA with dual air holes in a satin or brush finish. This is actually the final pre-production prototype batch. I've been very lucky to be enlisted as one of the final test and feedback team, so I'm hugely grateful for that to HAKU and Stephen, the designer. And all I can say at the moment is this has destroyed a whole week of vaping for me, in a good way. The reason being, I'm not going to beat around the bush. There's lots to say about this Hattie, but it is quite simply the best RDA I've ever used. I never thought I'd say that. The best RDA I've used to date in nearly 5 years of using them. If you're a fan of gorgeous machining, beautiful looks, super simple build, you could build it blindfold, incredible flavour. I can't get the flavour into words, so all I'll say is incredible flavour. Super smooth draw, minimal heat transfer. It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 in every category. I've never been able to say that before about another RDA. My most treasured atomizers have never, in my opinion, this is only my opinion folks, if it counts for anything, this is just my opinion. Yours may be different, somebody else's down the road, that might be different as well. But for me, that is the best RDA that's ever been made. Now, there's going to be lots of questions. Stuart, what makes it different? Why is it so good? Why do you rate it so highly? How come the flavour's so much better? I simply can't tell you. That's not me being secretive, that's me being factual. I've spent a week vaping the atomizer before I've done the video, so I can get my head around it and give you some information about it. I can give you the facts about the atomizer. I can't tell you why it's the best in the world. I just can't. I have no idea. But as Russ House said, a close friend of mine, you may have seen his videos because he had his test atomizer 4 or 5 days before me. You cannot put it down. I tried to put it down and switch to another Atty to try a different juice or try a different setup, and I keep picking that back up time and time again. So firstly, a huge congratulations to the guys at HAKU, Stephen and his team. Whatever you have done, it's tantamount to black magic, because none of us can work it out. The only thing I can say, most definitely, as far as flavour's concerned, how did you do that? I basically received this after some exciting conversations for 2 or 3 days with Stephen. I couldn't quite believe I'd have the opportunity to try one. When it arrived, I looked at it, it was a gorgeous thing, as you can all see. It's very dinky, there's a flow ring on there, but it's a lot smaller than it looks in the photographs. So beautiful looking, machining's absolutely killer. I took it apart, looked at the deck, it's beautifully finished, it's got this kind of satin electrode plating on it. The final pre-production prototype just looks as good as anything I've seen. I got it out and I put my standard build in it, which is 5 wraps of 26 gauge around a 2.5 bit, which comes out around about 0.28 to 0.3, depending on how much I strum it. I wicked it up, wet the wick, gave it a squonk, let it sit for a couple of seconds, took my first hit. First day, I ran 6 squonk bottles through it. Keep in mind, I didn't receive the atomizer until 2:30 in the afternoon. Safe to say, I still can't work it out. It performs like nothing else I've ever used. There may have been some comparisons drawn when people saw the images first to other atomizers. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, I don't care. However much you want to compare how this looks, whether it's the deck, whether it's the outer airflow sleeve, there is no comparison to anything else I've ever vaped. From flavour and vapour density, it compares to nothing. I would struggle to see how somebody could compare it. That's my opinion, and only my opinion. Of course, other people may feel differently. As far as I'm concerned, the HAKU wins. The one area it does win, and this will be an absolute godsend to some of you out there who maybe not so nimble or struggle to get really clean single coil building atomizers, it's the easiest atomizer I've ever put a coil in. I'm not particularly fast at recoiling. This is so easy. It's got the smoothest airflow I've ever vaped, the least amount of turbulence. And for an atomizer that seems to have created some kind of voodoo magic, the flavour has been described by other people as having a milkshake quality to it because it's very thick and wet. I described it in a live feed at the start of my test as being like nectar, like really rich. I can't really describe it any better than that. It's like you've got the best flavour build that you've found in a restrictive Lungit wide open 22mm Squonkinati, and you've added a turbo to it. That's the only way I can describe it. It's turbocharged flavour. It confuses me so much that I end up vaping a full bottle, trying to chase round the airflow and the experience of vaping it and squonking it and feeling the flavour in my palate to work out how they've done it. I don't know how they've done it. Whatever they have done, they've created, in my opinion, the best atomizer in the world. That's just me. So what I'll say, folks, is if you get the opportunity to grab one, get over to the HAKU group. It's HAKU RDA. Join the group because I know there's going to be 2 versions of this Atty that come out. This is the Cruiser, which is a slightly wider open deck, same diameter as the second one, which is called the Phenom, which has got a narrower chamber inside. 2 versions. For me, I don't care which version you get. Get one. Get one quickly. I'm not normally so convicted about things, but I promise you, if you get it, you'll be able to get in touch with me and tell me exactly what you think. I would really struggle to find you not being amazed. I wouldn't call myself cynical, but I've vaped a few atomizers, so I'm kind of used to what to expect. Not with this. Not with this. It's completely wrecked my vaping in a good way. I'm so spoilt now, I can't work out what I'm going to do. Aside from trying to get 3 or 4, maybe 5 of these and having one on every setup. That might be the only solution. I've been speaking to other people who've been on the test panel, and fortunately HAKU picked a really broad spectrum of people. Some squonkers, some drippers, some people who wanted regulated devices run with it, some people who run mechanical devices, some people who run big Claptons, some people like myself who run single A1 Canfield coils, a broad spectrum of people. And the feedback is unanimous. The feedback is, we can't work it out, but whatever you did, Stephen, you did it really well. So there we go. Gush Fest almost done. The HAKU is absolutely brilliant. The really cool news is, I'm most excited about this part. Stephen was very kind to actually send over another pre-production prototype. This is a sealed unit that's not been touched. And this is a really special unit. This is a SHOF giveaway, and this is going to be up for a quick strike giveaway very soon. So you will have an opportunity to own one of the pre-production prototypes ahead of any of the lists. That's going to be pretty cool. So stay tuned for that, guys. That is coming up real soon. If you don't have an opportunity to jump in the quick strike, whatever you do, get over to the HAKU group, talk to people, try and understand that your expectations for this atomizer will be surpassed. I expected another RDA. I expected an RDA which was going to fit in. It looked beautifully created. It was going to fit into my rotation and probably produce a similar flavour as all the other atomizers I've got. That was the benchmark. That's not what I got. It's incredible. So in closing, I send huge thanks to Stephen and HAKU. One, for allowing me the humbling opportunity to be involved in the final pre-production prototype testing, but secondly, to have the opportunity to show you guys, to try and put into words something which I can't work out. I don't get it. I'm by no means an expert, this is only my opinion, but that for me is the best one yet. See you soon. Enjoy.